conference for the first time in Ukraine, release of the world bestseller of Nick Vujicic, Life Without Limits in Ukrainian. It's my pleasure to introduce to you participants in our press conference. Olga Redziuk, director and founder of the Olerom company, organizer Nick Vujicic, visit to Ukraine, also Oleksandr Kirpichov, the first Ukraine general director, also Iryna Sysoienko, deputy head of the Parliamentary Committee for Health Protection of the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine, MP from Samopomich, and Viktoria Snicha, president of International Diplomatic Council in Ukraine. Welcome to all of you, and the first to speak, I believe, will be Ms. Olga. Dear friends, good afternoon to everyone. You know, the spring is in full blossom. We want something new, positive, the joyful. It's very important to our country, to take care of some events which will motivate or unite the people. And on April the 7th, Nick Vujicic may become that kind of driving force which will be able to motivate and unite the people. Nick Vujicic is the legendary person. By his life, I will put it this way, he is a symbol of spirit in the indicator or the kind of proof that the human beings do not have any limits in implementing their dreams or ideas or hopes. The most important to understand that the main thing is the content and not the form. I really wish very much that such an event or such a function which we are going to hold on the 7th of April to demonstrate the different problems which we encounter today, especially when our guys or boys return back home from the ATO zone to normal life as people who are to this or another extent disabled, and they need our support as nobody else. And we are going towards the civilized society. We embark upon that road. We have our own plan how to do that, and it's very important the people who can do that give the hand to those people who better need this support and help. The country is the kind of living or live organism, has to have some kind of the mutual support, unification, understanding, mutual understanding, and we wish this kind of event in April to become the first step towards those big-time events or functions which we need to rehabilitate such kind of people. We have some statistics which say that 80% of the reduced capabilities, they still can be involved in some work. And I really am happy that this kind of our initiative is supported by the different public organizations, different foundations, funds, churches, diplomatic corps. I would like to turn the mic to Iryna Sysoienko, who exerts a lot of efforts today in order to provide whatever can be provided, which can be instrumental in successful holding of our event on 7th April. She is deputy head of the Parliamentary Committee for Health Protection in the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine. I know that Iryna Sysoienko already has some plans for further steps to rehabilitate those guys who are coming back home from the ATO zone, and for many of those people who badly need attention given to them and the special support to be offered to them. Good afternoon to everybody. I would like to say that indeed today it is very important when everybody tries to pull the efforts, unite, when the representatives of the civil society unite, business representatives, or reps of the authorities in order to hold such important events or functions for the people with the reduced capacities. I would like to start my speech with a quotation from Nick Vujicic: everything good in life starts with the hope. And that's why I believe that those problems which are faced by our country, if we're talking about the disabled persons or the persons with the reduced capabilities, for the former participants in the ATO operation who need the comprehensive rehabilitation, I believe by pooling our efforts we can do something in order to change the situation for the better. I also would like to say that the duty of the government, of each of us, not only to sympathize with the people with the reduced capabilities, but to do everything possible to help them to overcome the existing barriers, to create necessary conditions in our country, and also to hold such key important events as the visit of Nick Vujicic to Ukraine, which will enable and motivate and inspire all those people who live today in different nooks of Ukraine, who actually face on their own their pain, their everyday problems, in order to get together and to get the sensation, or start to understand that they have to fight for their life and unite around those efforts in order to make our life better. Me, as MP of Ukraine, I understand that in our country, Ukrainian legislation is not perfect. Especially, there is a bad need for for adoption at last, the one and the comprehensive law of Ukraine on rehabilitation and, let's say, prevention of disability. This, which hasn't been yet resolved at the level of law. For almost a year now, I actually I set up the special counsel in our committee on the health protection, and for almost a year, together with experts, physicians, experts, with the representatives of the Minister of Health, Minister of Social Policy, Minister of Defense, we've been working on drawing up this very important draft law. It's already completed, and I believe in the nearest future we're going to submit it to the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine for their consideration. And most important is create necessary conditions to prevent disability, to create the comprehensive rehabilitation system, especially for servicemen and all other people who have the reduced capabilities and this will allow us to create comprehensive system for psychological or medical, physical rehabilitation, and in the end of the day, we'll come up with a new state mechanism for the efficient distribution of the funds, allocation of the funds for implementation of those programs, which have a lot to do with this kind of comprehensive rehabilitation effort. I believe with after we have this very important event, this will help us to unite our efforts and to understand that the people with the restricted capabilities, not only we have to remember about them every day, but also we have to every day take care about them to change their life for the better. Also would like to say that initiated by me, Public Association Coordination Center to provide assistance to the ATO participants. We actually we provide we disseminate the tickets free of charge for this event. This is very important for those people who cannot actually buy themselves the tickets for this event, but they would like, I believe, to be present here. So I would like to thank all those NGOs, all those public organizations, business structures who spend their money in order to provide this kind of chance to different people to be part of this event, who would like to listen to Nick Vujicic and to receive from him positive sensations which he's going to bring here to Ukraine. As I mentioned before, this project is supported by many different people and structures, and we are going to have here businessmen and entrepreneurs, students. The different foundations are going to provide the possibility for the disabled persons from different strata of the population to be present in this function, this event. Also, we have this is a kind of resounding story also in different countries of the world, and they simple people from different diaspora, for example, in the United States of America, they are involved in the fundraising event, and Natalka, one of those, is who on her own initiative already collected the money, which gives the possibility for 300 persons to go and to participate in this event. I would like to give the floor to my colleague who represent here the diplomatic corps, because this event is supported not only by the businessmen not only in Ukraine but in different countries of the world.
Thank you very much. For our team, it's a great honor to support the visit of Nick Vujicic, because I think this visit will be very important for Ukraine, because it will happen on the great holiday of the Holy News. And we can support our fighters from ATO, children from ATO, and we can show them there is a dream, and we can move to our dream, and there is anything impossible. If there is internal core in the person, if there is a kindness to this world, you can do impossible things. Also in the program, there is a meeting of this person of the world with the kids from ATO area, because if from the childhood they will see this small act of kindness, they will hold it all their life. And we should do it for our Ukraine, because our Ukraine is only one, and it's not important where do you live, because you live in Ukraine. And the main goal, the main task of that is to join all these people in this during this great religious holiday. All of us as a power, all of us as the patriots of our motherland. And there is this, it's such a joy that we have people like Olga, and this visit is a kind of visit of Messiah, because I know that the visit of Nick Vujicic are scheduled for 2 years ahead, and if he agreed to come to Ukraine, I hope it will bring our country prosperity, joy, and I hope the dreams of Ukraine will come true. Thank you very much. And now I want to give the floor to the representative of the publishing house, because there is an interesting news to the event. There will be a book. Good afternoon, everybody. Nick Vujicic is famous, not like just inspiring speaker, but he's also an author of four famous books: Life with No Limits, and his last book, Love with No Limits. All these books are bestsellers, and they're published in millions of copies all over the world. And the first book, Life with No Limits, was translated to 30 languages. And now, especially for the visit of Nick Vujicic, we translated it into Ukraine, and we will publish it in Ukraine. And we hope that Nick's books in Ukrainian will be the same popular as all the books published all over the world. And in this book, Nick describes the difficulties he faced from the very childhood. He shares with us his moments with joy and disappointment. But the most important, as Nick was born in a religious family, he had just one question for many years: if God created him with these limitations, maybe there is a designation in that. And with the time, Nick could see the designation in his public speeches, in the inspiration, and the moment when he saw that many people who thought they couldn't do something because of their limitations I don't mean just physical limitations. In some countries, he gave examples of economic situations of the country in India or in African countries, but most of this limitation exists just in people's heads, and if we imagine we don't have this limitation, the person is able to do a lot of things, and Nick could show it. And that moment when he saw that people achieved a lot after his inspirational speeches, this moment, as he described, he became really happy. Notwithstanding the fact that his first book was written in 2010, it is actual for Ukraine and Ukrainians now in this difficult period of time, and it's very important. To bring Nick ideas through this book that every Ukrainian is capable to do a lot of things, and all these limitations exist just inside us. Thank you. I'm very grateful to you, and I'm ready for your questions. Thank you, dear colleagues. And if you have any comments or questions, please ask. But name yourself first. ICTV Olga Redziuk. When we can find this book in the bookshop, and will it be expensive? Maybe it will be in the libraries for disabled people. Sales will start on 7th of April. Book is ready. It is in the bookshops. It will be from 8th of April. Now we are working on the logistics to the regions. Recommended retail price 130 hryvnias, but it's 1.5 times cheaper than in Russia. About libraries, I'm sure they will be in libraries, but we didn't start working on it so far. Ladies Tatarka channel RTI. Could you please tell us, this was Nick's desire to see Ukraine, or it was your initiative? And if it was your initiative, how did you manage to do it? You know, it was a kind of mutual initiative, because his schedule is very dense. He's busy for 2 years ahead, and when for the first time I appealed to him, I had an answer that please write us in 2 years and we will agree the date. But I didn't stop. I understood how important would be the visit of Nick Vujicic to our country, because I can see the situation. And we, as training company, should react to the current task and to give people possibilities to solve them. So I keep on having dialogue with Nick. I explained to him how important it was for us. He understood us, and this date, the 7th of April, we had this date in February. It wasn't enough time to it, but he agreed this date, and he's planning this visit with a great joy, and he's sure he can bring a lot of energy to the people in our country. And for sure he will find possibility to visit some military hospitals, to talk to guys, to share his spirit with them, to those who can't come to his speech. Yemets Maria, Ukraine Crisis Media Center. I have two different information about the tickets. First, could you please precise, because you say that 100 tickets were given for free and 300 people. 100 tickets were is from Coordination Center for ATO participants, and about 300 participants. Olga will answer you. 300 tickets were collected by our dear friends, our immigrants in USA. Also, the fund of Marina Poroshenko gave the possibility for 300 participants of ATO to go to this event. Any other questions? I'm coming to you. Newspaper fact is Sepchuk. Could you please tell us about preliminary plan of Nick's visit to Ukraine? And second question. How much money are you hoping to gain from the tickets to this event, and how are you going to spend this money? The plan of the event is not ready so far. Our expectations are press conference, few interviews with media, and we are planning, as I said, Nick's visit to one of the military hospitals, and also his speech at Olympijski Stadium at the evening. There it will be 3-hour speech. And this event is commercial. It's half commercial, half social. Unfortunately, I can't share with you commercial secrets, but Nick has a rider. And there are some expenses we need to cover to find such a huge all-Ukrainian motivational visit of this person. Any other questions? If there are no questions, thank you very much, dear friends. Last question we have. Dear journalist, if you need books in Ukrainian, you can ask me. Thank you very much, and let's finish our conference on this positive note. Thank you for coming. Thank you, everybody. Good luck to you.